Hey everyone, Dr. Kem here. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a hidden historical narrative, and I'm really excited to share this complete lecture with you. We're going to uncover the incredible and, frankly, often unsung Muslim women who have pioneered absolute breakthroughs in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We often think of STEM as this very modern, predominantly Western-driven thing, right? But the reality? There is this rich, ongoing legacy of female scientific innovation in the Islamic world that stretches back well over 1,000 years, and it has fundamentally shaped the exact world we live in today. So, let's kick things off by challenging a pretty deeply held assumption. If I ask you right now, who founded the world's oldest continually operating university? Who comes to mind? You might instinctively guess, I don't know, a European king, maybe a wealthy Renaissance merchant, or an ancient Greek philosopher. Well, actually, it's none of the above. The world's oldest continually operating university was founded by a 9th century Muslim woman. Now, to wrap our heads around how that was even possible, we gotta look at the cultural foundation of the time. This whole pursuit of discovery, it's deeply rooted in historical and religious traditions. Take this famous tradition, for example, which states, seeking knowledge is a mandate for every Muslim, male and female. And it's absolutely crucial to understand why that was so revolutionary. At a time when huge parts of the world restricted education by your class or your gender, this specific societal framework explicitly normalized and actually mandated learning for women. Education wasn't just a nice to have, it was viewed as a fundamental duty for literally everyone. Just to set the historical stage here, think about the intellectual climate of the Islamic Golden Age. During this era, foundational texts were being written right and left, including Al-Khwarizmi's groundbreaking work on algebra. And listen, algebra wasn't just abstract math sitting on a blackboard. It was a highly practical, everyday tool. They used it for engineering complex canal systems, precisely dividing up agricultural land, and calculating these incredibly intricate inheritance laws. So it created this vibrant, intellectually demanding environment with super high stakes. And in that environment, early female pioneers didn't just casually participate, they completely thrived and led the charge. And that sets up this massive timeline we're looking at today. We are bridging a huge gap in human history, tracing a lineage of innovation that spans all the way from the founding of that first university in 859 CE, accelerating through mid-20th century nuclear physics, and landing right in modern private space exploration in 2006. So this isn't just a story of a few isolated incidents or lucky accidents. No, this is a timeline of sustained, rigorous scientific excellence driven by women over an entire millennium. All right, let's get into Section 1, the Islamic Golden Age. Which brings us right back to the woman who answered our earlier trivia question, Fatima al-Fihri. After inheriting a significant fortune, she didn't just build a fancy monument to her family. Nope, she built a literal engine for knowledge. In 859 CE, over in Fez, Morocco, she established Al-Qaririan. It actually started as a mosque, but very rapidly developed into this immense center of higher learning. And we're not just talking a theological study here. The curriculum was packed with logic, astronomy, advanced mathematics, and medicine. She essentially created the blueprint for the modern degree-granting institution. And amazingly enough, Al-Qaririan is still operating today, preserving some of the world's most historically valuable scientific manuscripts. Fast forward just a bit to the 10th century, and we see pioneers dominating highly specialized technical fields. First up is Al-Ijliya al-Astrulabi, working in Aleppo making astrolabes. If you don't know what an astrolabe is, think of it as an ancient analog computer mixed with a GPS, all packed into one incredibly detailed brass instrument. It let navigators and astronomers calculate the time, figure out their latitude, and predict the positions of the stars with just astonishing accuracy. Then, over in Baghdad, we have Sutaida al-Muhammali. She was a celebrated mathematician, and her expertise in fractions and complex algebra was so profound that top scholars and judges would regularly consult her just to solve their most difficult inheritance disputes. I mean, these women were the top-tier engineers and data scientists of their day. Okay, moving on to Section 2, Pioneers of the Atomic Age. We're leaping to the 20th century now to meet Sameera Moussa. Talk about a trailblazer. She became the very first female nuclear physicist in Egypt. Keep in mind what earning a PhD in atomic radiation actually meant in the 1950s. It was an exceptionally rare, mathematically grueling, and heavily male-dominated field. She even became the first woman to hold a university post at Cairo University. But here's the best part. She wasn't just a researcher locked away in a lab. She was a fierce advocate for the Atoms for Peace movement, organizing international conferences to push back against nuclear weapons, and trying to pivot all that global research toward medical applications. You can really see her profound humanitarian drive in her own words. She said, "My wish is for nuclear treatment of cancer to be as available and as cheap as aspirin." Just wow, right? She wasn't doing science for the sake of academic glory. She saw the immense, terrifying power of the atom, and she was deeply personally driven to harness it to make life-saving medical treatments universally accessible, no matter where you lived or how much money you had. And to actually make that happen, she dedicated her research to lowering the financial barrier for nuclear medicine. She developed a historic equation literally designed to break the atoms of cheap metals. Basically, traditional nuclear medicine relied on these very rare, highly expensive radioactive materials. Moussa's equation figured out how to substitute those expensive materials with incredibly cheap, abundant metals like copper, bombarding them to create cheaper, localized radiation. Her brilliant mind was entirely focused on democratizing healthcare and making X-rays and cancer treatments affordable for the developing world, a real game changer. Which brings us to Section 3, Modern Innovators and Explorers. You know, when you put these two eras side by side, it is a pretty mind-blowing full-circle moment for scientific exploration. 1,000 years ago, you've got the legacy of Al-Ijliya, painstakingly building the physical brass tools required to navigate the stars. And today, right now in the 21st century, we have the reality of Anousheh Ansari physically traveling up to those exact same stars in a Soyuz spacecraft. It is a breathtaking demonstration of exactly how far this legacy has traveled. Let's zoom in on Anousheh Ansari for a second. In 2006, she made history as the very first female private space explorer. But honestly, her background down on Earth is just as fascinating. She immigrated to the US from Iran as a teenager, and get this, she didn't even speak English at the time. She totally immersed herself in education, became a brilliant telecom engineer, and ended up building this massive, highly successful tech company dealing with complex software and telecom networks. Then, she used the immense success from her engineering career to literally help fund the privatization of the space industry. Her whole journey is an absolute masterclass in resilience. But her central mission was aimed directly at inspiring the next generation. She wanted young girls across the Middle East and honestly all over the globe to look up, see her floating in a spacesuit aboard the International Space Station, and realize that these seemingly impossible dreams in STEM are entirely within their reach. Meanwhile, back down on Earth, we have Dr. Hayat Sindi breaking completely different kinds of barriers. Biotechnology is this staggeringly complex field. It merges microscopic biology with advanced engineering to create brand new medical solutions. Overcoming some pretty massive language and cultural barriers of her own, Dr. Sindi moved to England and became the very first Saudi woman to earn a PhD in this rigorous discipline from prestigious Cambridge University. What's really incredible about Dr. Sindi is her laser focus on the developing world. Driven by a mission to help remote populations, she invented highly accessible, low-cost diagnostic devices. Take her Diagnostics for All initiative, which creates paper-based diagnostic tools. Imagine a tiny piece of chemically treated paper, literally about the size of a postage stamp, that just changes color when exposed to a single drop of blood or saliva. It can instantly diagnose liver function or disease without needing a sterile lab, clean water, or even electricity. And alongside that, her Mars device utilizes nanotechnology sensors at the microscopic level for early disease detection, saving lives absolutely anywhere on the globe. And this momentum is everywhere. The fields of highly theoretical physics and astrophysics are continually being advanced by brilliant minds today. Look at Pakistan's Tasneem Zira Hussain, who became her country's first female string theorist, earning her PhD at just 26 years old. String theory is incredibly complex stuff. It's attempting to mathematically model the universe not as dots, but as tiny, vibrating strings of energy to explain gravity and quantum mechanics together. Then we have Dr. Rilm Al-Turkmani, a Syrian-born astrophysicist. Her computer simulations actually help us understand the complex dynamics of solar flares, these massive explosions of magnetic energy on the sun's surface that are so incredibly powerful they can actually impact our power grids right here on Earth. Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, a continuing scientific legacy. When you really step back and look at the whole picture, a very clear narrative emerges. From Fatima El-Fihri establishing the very concept of a degree-granting university way back in the 9th century, to Dr. Sindi pioneering the future of medical diagnostics, all the way to Anousheh Ansari pushing the literal boundaries of space exploration. These unsung heroines have continuously shaped our world. I mean, they've built our navigational tools, mapped our stars, unraveled the math of the universe, and cured our diseases.
So that leaves us with one pretty massive question to wrap up this explainer. As we finally begin to rediscover and celebrate these hidden figures of history, and as more and more young girls see these brilliant role models and follow in their massive footsteps, who will be the next unsung heroine to change the course of human history? This is Dr. Chem, thanking you so much for joining me on this journey today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.